But you have a president who goes before the Ghana Bar Association conference. Instead of apologizing for Techiman, instead of apologizing for Ayawaso, went on a bandwagon of attacks on President Mahama. Right, in response, I don't know if that was the appropriate platform to talk about these things when you have our prisons overflowing, you have justice being delayed and denied, and that is a bar conference, and you decide to behave like Caligula in responding to issues of the campaign trail and certain comments that have been made. In any case, when they talk about Airbus scandals and what have you, where is his moral right to talk about Airbus issue when you appointed an independent, the first ever independent special prosecutor who came out to say that you were the mother serpent of corruption? This is your own appointee, independent, resign on that trajectory. You appoint another one who clears President Mahama of any corruption charges in the Airbus scandal, and you think the bar conference was the right platform. He desecrated it, as far as I'm concerned. Right? Members of the bar, he eroded the respect of the bar by mounting that podium to actually speak to these issues when we have pertinent issues. Prisons crowding, overflowing, justice denied, justice delayed. Instead of him to address these as president, apologize for Techiman, apologize for Ayawaso, he's there, wasking lyrically on the attacks of President Mahama in his best forms. But then again, what will you say? What I blame the bar for giving him that platform to do that, and after that crowning him with a lifetime award, which they say is the first of his kind.
He was supposed to be at the bar.
No, what I'm saying that,
he's a lawyer.
See, I'm not saying he's not a lawyer.
Member of the bar.
In diplomacy or international diplomacy, right, when you have countries misbehaving, right, it may be ethical, it may not be ethical, but when they feel things are not right, you have other embassies, high commissioners and diplomats, in a way, shunning the ambassadors or the political representatives. So they go for dinners, they try not to even shake hands with them and the likes of that. The bar.
That's a form of demonstration.
A demonstration that we disapprove with all of these things. The bar ought to have demonstrated this. You know, the bar is an important organization, right? It has been part of our independence struggle to such an extent that at a point some people felt that it was enshrined in our constitution when it's not. Right. But with these attitudes and platforms being created for this to be done, its respect, potency, and efficacy that its forebearers fought for has been aiming. Right. And the rate at which it apes accelerated in the last 7 years or so under this administration with a lawyer president, right, and a member of the association. So for me, I think that the bar embraces different political parties, and they ought to be careful how they respond and who represents them. You know, in time past, the Attorney General used to use this platform. And I even wondered why he was invited. Given what happened with the Jakwa issue and all of that, they also needed to make a statement. Again, we are not debating the ethics of it, but the optics of the office and the desecration of it. These are very important issues. And I think that the bar needs to stand up to these. When the bar president was reading his speech and making his statements whatsoever, for once, I cringe and ask myself, why is this speech coming or emanating from the Flagstaff House? You're talking Ghana card issues and how its expansion. It's a good call, but you are the Bar Association. There are issues of justice happening, right? Justice denied, justice delayed, prisons overcrowded, right? A lot of legal issues, cases lined up, clocked, the court system probably not working right. There have been concerns about appointments to the bench, and you thought these were the germane issues to address at the bar conference. Then he felt that, okay, well, let me do something, right, to actually appear as balanced. Then he went after the low-hanging fruit of a, tiny critic of free SHS. And the president went berserk on him for that comment. Right? How is it the mandate of the bar? I'm not saying it's not their mandate, but they are very critical and important issues that the president ought to have been focused on. After which, you had your tango, you decide to say you are giving him, he is the first, he's actually the trailblazer for that lifetime award. Is this the time to award him this? When we have witnessed Techiman, when we have witnessed Ayawaso, and all of these atrocities. So this is where these associations ought to stand in to say that, look, Mr. President, until these things are all done, we're not going to associate with you. We have to act strong. But when you do this, you create a certain level of disaffection within potent institutions that people toiled to build over the years since independence, or in our struggle to independence. This is the sweat, blood, and tears of our forebears. And today, if we decide to release or reduce it to political gimmickry and charades, where are we as a democracy? These are the fundamental questions I think we need to be asking. And I was disappointed. I was disappointed at the voices that came from the Bar Conference. No meaner person than a president who was described by his own and first ever special prosecutor as the mother serpent of corruption. And yet he thought he had the moral grounds to mount a podium in Kumasi, right, at an ivory tower, KNUST, to make such a pronounced statement attacking President Mahama when your own special prosecutor, again, you appointed, has cleared him. Has he not read the report?
All right. We started easy and ended at the bar.
Yeah. You know, it had linkages, so I needed to get on it.